Can I turn this?
Cultural communities in Dubai, right? And a lot of international exposure. So that's who we are. Duvera Immigration. We are regulated Canadian immigration consultants authorized by Government of Canada. We are not agents of agents. We are directly affiliated to Government of Canada. And we are licensed recruiters in the province of Alberta and British Columbia. Canada is divided into provinces and territories. So we are in Alberta, but we are licensed recruiters for Alberta and British Columbia both. So we are actively involved. Primarily immigration consultants, yes. Recruitment, yes. And we are also affiliated to 19 colleges in Canada. We do a lot of student recruitment as well on the education front, especially post-secondary students. And we also do recruitments for people who are looking forward to get their professional upgrading in Canada or getting into MBA programs. We are affiliated to University of Toronto, University of Alberta, University of Lethbridge, University of Calgary, to name a few, Grand McEwen University, like probably if you guys have heard about Toronto, I believe everybody knows. Vancouver, everybody knows, right? So we are associated to a lot of universities. Let me tell you about the legit business practices, or how to identify a legit immigration consultant first, because that's the most common question I get from people. Are you legit? Are you, like, do you know, or how does the system work? So that's what I'm going to educate you about. This whole seminar is about that, and then we can do one-on-one assessment, and if you guys are interested, we can always help you to immigrate to Canada. There are only 3 types of people actually who are allowed to do immigration process for Canada. One of them is RCIC, Regulated Canadian Immigration Consultant. I'll show you how to verify the consultants. We all have a registration number. Like for example, my number is R like Roger 515126, right? Then the Canadian lawyers can do immigration. The third thing is only the paralegals who are in Canada, they can do immigration. So if you go to a consultant, well, they can be based outside of Canada too. Immigration consultants can be outside of Canada too. It's not necessary that they're in Canada. But if you go to meet somebody, please check with them. Are they RCICs, Regulated Canadian Immigration Consultants? If not, then that should ring a bell in your ear that what are you dealing with? Because it's not that the ghost, they're called ghost consultants in our terms. Like those people, actually. So the whole Canadian immigration system is divided into 5 different categories of NOC codes. NOC codes means National Occupation Classification Codes. So the highest one is 00, which is for CEO, CA, another application through express entry to their province. So province evaluate, because you have a job offer from Alberta, once the province evaluates you, then they issue you a provincial nomination certificate. I'll be showing you how the LMIA looks like, how a provincial nomination certificate looks like, to prevent any kind of fraud. Because not many people know what LMIAs are and how they look like and how they can be verified. I'll educate you on that as well. So once you get the provincial nomination certificate, you get 600 points for that, right? And then you get another invitation to apply from the federal government, and you get to your final path of permanent residency to Canada. So as I mentioned, temporary foreign worker program is one of the most common programs where we hire skilled or unskilled labor. Canada needs lots and lots of foreign workers. We have great demand for skilled and unskilled labor both, be it in any category. Federal skilled worker program, as I mentioned, it's a we government uses a grid of 1200 points. 600 points from education, work experience, live in Canada, and provincial nomination, 600 points. So we'll help you with the help of your resumes and the information provided by you. We can always help you determine whatever is your knock code and what would be the right pathway for you guys to immigrate to Canada. And not to forget, at times, if these pathways are not available, then you can even go for a study permit. People aged 50 years or even 52 years or 50 plus have also been able to get study permits depending on what kind of education they're looking at. There's a difference between eligibility and approval. So first you need to become eligible. In order to become eligible, you need to undergo ECA, which is called an education credential assessment, which means what is the level of education you have had in comparison to the Canadian education, whether it was bachelor's, is it comparable to bachelor's? So points are based on that. And then the most important thing is your English skills. That's your IELTS exam, IELTS general, right? Arrange employment, what we call, it's another term for LMIA, labor market impact assessment. Today, all the programs, any programs which are from the Canadian government for which help you immigrate to Canada, almost 100% of the programs, I would say, they are based on if you have an employer who's willing to give you a job offer / LMIA. Since 2019, I would say, right? Since the COVID struck, no, 2020 actually, there has not been a single draw for federal skilled worker programs. All the draws have been for provincial nomination programs, or all the draws have been for Canadian experience class. I'll explain you what Canadian experience class is as well. So the eligible occupations for immigrating to Canada, they should fall in skilled category positions. Well, it's not that not unskilled positions. You could be working as a cleaner, but you could still immigrate to Canada as a foreign worker and then get your permanent residency from inside of Canada. But if you're looking at most of the programs from outside of Canada, they're into skilled positions where you should have relative experience in one of the skilled NOC codes, which could be B, A, O, or double O. C and D are skilled and semi-skilled. Federal Skilled Trades Program is for tradesmen. It was launched in 2013, where a tradesperson should have minimum 2 years of experience. Now, when we call tradesmen, even cooks are categorized as tradesmen. They could be welders, they could be pipe fitters, they could be in oil and gas companies, right? No matter what you do, if you want to immigrate to Canada, you have to undergo English skills test, whether it could be IELTS or it could be CELPIP. And if you're from a French-speaking country, then there are francophone programs available, and you could undergo a French language test as well. For Federal Skilled Trades Program, if you are a tradesman, any one of you could be a tradesman too. I've not gone through the resumes as of now, but you need to have minimum 2 years of experience in order to apply in past 10 years. So if you look at these knock codes, these are knock codes we'll be posting this presentation on Facebook and YouTube. You can download it from there. So all these knock codes are for tradesmen. So as it says, there could be contractors, there could be tool and die makers, sheet metal worker, boiler makers, structural metal, plumbers, gas fitters, carpenters, cabinet workers. These are all examples of tradesmen. More examples. And they fall under NOCB. So if you apply under let's say if you apply under Federal Skilled Worker Program, the eligibility level for English exam is different than Federal Skilled Trades Program. That we can help you assess individually for everyone. Canadian experience class is a completely different category. It is for people who have had minimum 1 year of skilled experience for working inside of Canada. Let's say you came in as a student. So if a student comes in there, studies for 1 year, gets 1 year of postgraduate work permit, right? Or if a student comes in, if he studies for 2 years or more, gets a 3 years of postgraduate work permit. So once he or she gets a postgraduate work permit, then they work for 1 year in a skilled category position, they become eligible to apply under Canadian experience class. Or let's say you came into unskilled position and then your employer promoted to your skilled position, right? Once you complete your 1 year of skilled work experience, then you become eligible to apply under Canadian experience class as well. The difference between CEC, we call it CEC, and FSW, that's the Federal Skilled Worker Program, is the English skill set required. So for federal skilled worker, if you applied, let's say you're a supervisor which falls under NOCB position, let's say the requirement for English skill is reading 6, writing 6, listening 6, and speaking 6. But if you come under Canadian experience class, then this requirement of skills goes down. It goes up to 5. 5 in listening, 5 in reading, 5 in speaking, 5 in writing. So anybody who has come as a foreign worker, let's say working as a food service supervisor or retail store supervisor or a cleaning supervisor, right? So these are some of the most common examples of working in a skilled category position. And after 1 year of work experience in Canada, you could apply under Canadian experience class. Provincial nomination programs. As I was talking about earlier, provincial nominee program. However, no matter what you do, no matter what eligibility you have today or in coming days, later down the line, government might open up federal skilled worker program. For now, it has been closed since December 23, 2020. It's been almost 1.5, 2 years. No draw has come out for federal skilled workers. All the draws or all the applicants who are coming from outside of Canada, including this AIPP program, you need to have a job offer, basically an LMIA. You need to have an employer ready who's willing to sponsor you for your permanent residency to Canada, no matter even if you have 480 points or 500 points. Live-in caregiver program, again, you could come in as a foreign worker if you are eligible. Let's say if you have your degree in nursing or you have been into the same profession. Government of Canada has approximately 500 positions or 2,500 positions, I believe. Now they'll be starting this year again. So let's see how many positions open up. But this is a very interesting program where people who are from medical background or healthcare workers or caregivers can apply under this program directly for permanent residency. Visitors, grandparents, Canada is a great place to visit. If you guys want to explore Canada, you're looking forward to get your permanent residency at a later date, or you want to explore Canada even before you apply for your work visas, or you want to come inside Canada as a visitor and then apply for your work permit inside of Canada, that is also possible. That is 100% possible. So if you intend to visit Canada, please let us know. We can help you, and we can help you determine your eligibility levels for your visitor visa as well. This is a special initiative which was taken by Government of Canada last year because of COVID. It's called TR to PR Pathway Program. So TR is temporary residency, PR is permanent residency. So last year for skilled, unskilled workers, healthcare workers, international graduates, they opened 90,000 applications for people who were inside of Canada. And for Canadian experience class, normally the score, where the score is like 410, 380, 390, they went as low as 80 points. And they helped everybody establish their permanent residency, and hopefully they're coming up with this program this year as well. This program got full in like 3 days, 90,000 people. Investors, yeah, if you guys are looking to invest, Canada has one of the most beautiful programs. Different provinces have different programs. Alberta has its own program. You could get your business immigration done by investing approximately $100,000 to, you can go as sky's the limit. So business immigration takes approximately 3 years. So again, English exams are still must, education is still a must. This is a program which we have specially created for people who want to come to Alberta, where government of, like I would say, Canadian government has one of the best corporate laws. Any non-resident Canadian can establish a company in Canada, obviously, but they need help of a Canadian, but they can be 100% shareholder. They can be a director in the company as well. As long as they own more than 51% equity, more than 50% equity in the company, they can become eligible under self-employed stream. They can set up their own business. They can run their own business. They'll get a business permit, a business working permit, and they can also become permanent resident of Canada. But they have to be actively involved in the business. No passive income businesses are allowed, such as rentals or laundromats or such kind of businesses where you're not actively involved. Canadian family class immigration or sponsorship, this is majorly related to, let's say, if you have a spouse living in Canada, or somebody whom you had cohabitated for a period of 1 year, then he or she could be your common-in-law as well. So this is mainly related to your spousal sponsorship. That's another way of coming into Canada, or maybe you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend in Canada, you can get married and you can immigrate to Canada. Quebec skilled workers. Quebec is mainly a French territory, so they have special programs for French-speaking people, right? Again, the program is pretty much the same. You have to undergo your French skills exam, work experience, and most importantly, you still need to have your job offer in place, which is an LMIA. They started this program for rural and northern immigration. It's called Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program. Certain provinces are involved into it. One of them is Alberta, where again you need to get your letter of recommendation from the community leaders. You also need to have your job offers from employers in that community, and then you can apply for your permanent residency. The key aspect, apart from having the right education skills, apart from having the right English skills, the key aspect for immigrating to Canada today is having job offer, having the right recruitment opportunity. This is where we come into picture. We help you find the right pathway, the right program for your permanent residency, or to be recruited as a temporary foreign worker, and we connect you with the right employers. We also have food pilot programs in place for agriculture enthusiasts like farmers or seasonal workers who work in farms. Or we also have special program for seasonal workers who would like to work in fishery industry, especially in the area of Vancouver, right? Yeah. Healthcare workers, Canada has opened up special programs for healthcare workers. Currently, the quota is full, but it'll open up soon. But they have special programs for people who are in frontline and healthcare, especially community support workers. But again, if you don't qualify under any of these programs, make sure you can get yourself self assessed even as a student as well, because student immigration is also quite popular. Obtaining a study permit, getting the right skills as per Canadian standards, and then moving towards your permanent residency. Study permit is one of the good gateways as well. And students are also allowed to work part-time in Canada. And during their holiday hours, they can work.
Just before Embraer Lines, I just worked in logistics company for storekeeper assistant 13 years.
Storekeeper, right? Storekeeper is unskilled position actually.
Okay. And then now, I recently joined January as equipment operator in airport.
Okay.
But this is just only recent employment. It's just like almost 2 months, February, then December. For this past 13 years, it's 30.
But I'm not settled in the job yet.
You're finding a job?
I'm trying.
You'll get it.
Huh?
You're so educated, you'll get it.
Yes, but it takes time here. Because
Then why प्रूव करो? नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता. अगर आपने एक एक्सप्रेस एंट्री की एप्लीकेशन सबमिट करी और साथ साथ दूसरी भी करना चाहते हैं तो भी सबमिट होगी. लिख के दे सकता हूँ आपको ये बात.
दोनों में से कोई भी डिक्लाइन नहीं.
अब दूसरी जॉब ऑफर किसी से मिल गई, 2 सबमिट कर लो एप्लीकेशन. आप सर विजिट वीजा का स्टडी परमिट से क्या लेना देना?
मुझे एक और चीज ऐड करनी. सपोज
व्हाट? अनस्किल्ड.